Morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Friday, the 19th of January, 2024. Just doing a real estate tap in with you. Haven't seen any major headlines in terms of, the real estate market or anything like that, but just had a question. Hopefully, people will chime in and answer. Do you think being able to, how should I say this? Being able to invest in a property that has a, let's just say, under 5% mortgage in first position, do you think that's a good investment if you were to invest money into a deal where there was a first position lien on the property that was, let's say, under 5% and had, some equity, maybe not a lot, maybe 10%, 5% equity? Do you think that would be something to consider investing in? And probably, most people, when they look at it and say, well, if it only has that amount of equity and then I, put in money to invest in that particular property, I'm probably going to be at 100% of value, and it's not a good investment. But I would differ, because if you can do that, you're still secured against the property in case of default. So if there was a first position lien on the property and you were in technically second position with your investment, if the person who's in the property are paying you doesn't pay, you still have the ability to take back the property with that first lien position in place. Now, you probably wouldn't take the property back in case of default and just sell the property because it doesn't have enough equity to be able to pay you everything that you put into it, plus, make a good return on your money. So you probably wouldn't do that. But if you took the property back, there are other exit strategies that can be implemented once you do take it back, still with that first position lien. And those are the things that we kind of show people and talk about when we do deal structuring. Also, you have to look at too, a couple of other factors on how we, qualify people and put people in properties. A lot of times when we're structuring these deals that way, it's hard for somebody to walk away from putting, $20, $25, $30,000 down. And that's what you get a lot of times when you are doing seller finance deals, just depending on the price range. Obviously, medium home price, I guess across the country now is over $400,000. So if you're, anywhere between like $200,000 to $400,000 in your local market, we would structure it where we're getting at least 10% down. And what is the likelihood of someone defaulting unless they had a significant life event happen to them when they put out $25,000, $30,000, when they include closing costs and everything like that on a property? The likelihood of those people defaulting is very low. And even if they do default, a lot of times it's because of a life event. A lot of times you can get the property back, without maybe having to go through a whole foreclosure process, and then you can then put someone else in that property. And you don't necessarily have to put another technically own, somebody that's gonna own the property where you create the financing. If you had to, you could put, a renter in there, a lease option type of buyer in there. So you have a couple of different exit strategies in case something doesn't go right. So first you have the fact that things not going right being a lower chance of something going wrong. Obviously anything can happen to anybody, but the chances of something going wrong is lower because of the type of person that you put in the property, the amount of money that they put in the property, the way that we qualify them. And then as a backup to that, there's multiple exit strategies in case of that default. And when does that default come? Does that default come within 6 months of the person getting in? Most likely not. It's probably something, the probabilities, we always deal with probabilities. I mean, anything can happen, like I said, but probabilities are, it may not be for a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road that, somebody runs into a certain amount of trouble or has a life event where they can't, afford to stay in this particular property. So, you always have to look at worst case scenario and weigh the risks. And when you have multiple exit strategies, you should feel confident about making an investment in a property that doesn't have a significant amount of equity. And those are the reasons that I just gave. So if you have an opinion, please let me know. Tell me where, I'm possibly wrong, and would definitely like to know, because maybe, there's something I'm not missing, or maybe something I could, maybe clear up and answer for you. But when you structure these correctly, low rates of default, and also when you're on the bank side, you have multiple exit strategies. Let me know what you think. Everybody have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.